something very different to what we've had in the past. It's on a focus group of customers, which are all, and we are planning to do some product information, share some product information with you through the morning's proceedings, starting from PC to print, and let you know how these products are useful to you, how you can, in what way you can use them in your organizations, what are the benefits. We've had some changes, platform changes as well, so some of you may be aware of it, may not be, so this is a good session to get updated. But most of all, this session is something where we also want to hear your voice. So we need you to speak up with the challenges you are facing. Once our presenters start, any of you are most welcome just to say whatever you want at that time and ask anything that is not clear. So feel free to make it as interactive as possible and have a little fun as well, while it's not a serious formal presentation, but something that HP wants to give you. So before I go on too much, let's start the day's proceedings by I'd like to invite our GM, who is the Asia Emerging Country GM, Mr. Christian Reyes. We all call him Ian. So Ian will give you more insight on HP and what's going to happen. So let's put our hands together and welcome.
I hope I got it right, that I say it in the right way, in the right tone. But again, thank you for coming. That's my attempt to speak a bit to Sri Lanka. My name's Christian Reyes. Maybe we can start to show. So my name's Christian Edmund Reyes, right? I'm the General Manager for Asia Emerging Markets. And Sri Lanka is a very, very important market. It's a completely new category. It's part of our commitment to innovation. We created a new category. It's targeted towards designers, right, graphic artists. Targeted towards consumers like you and me. As you can see that the mother was trying to design something with her baby. It's also designed for children to have more interactive games. So HP Sprout is one of the more innovative and positively reviewed new products that was announced last year. And as well, at the same time, we also announced HP's entry into 3D printing. Right? So we've been hearing about 3D printing for the last, I think, 3 years, 4 years. Analysts say it's going to be growing to $20 billion annually by 2020. But the thing with 3D printing is that the reality of it is, conceptually, it actually sounds very sexy, right? Very 3D printing. People are printing 3D printed food. People are printing 3D printed limbs, right? But the problem with 3D printing is that two things, right? One is that it is very slow, right? So the 3D printing devices that are available in the market now, to 3D print something as small as this would take probably half a day, right? Half a day or even a day, right? The second problem with 3D printing is that it is expensive, right? There are no economies of scale, right? The cost, obviously, for the medium to device is very expensive and out of reach for, obviously, some industries and even consumers like us. But with HP Multijet Fusion, we're able to address, obviously, one, the speed of creating 3D parts and the cost. We actually use some of the science and technologies of our inkjet printing systems. Right, so we expect 3D printing to be big, and HP is part of it. There's also a YouTube video, right, which actually shows that there is a chain link 3D printed using HP and was able to lift the car. Right, so a lot of things coming up for HP, but more importantly, HP has a wide diversity of products for PC printing to meet your needs. Notebooks, desktops, tablets, printers, managed services. And you'll find out about it more this morning. We have our experts, our product management experts, our sales managers still talk about what are the new exciting products, like our smallest desktop available, especially for a time where space is getting more constrained. Talking about OfficeJet Pro, which is our fastest printer available, as well as our new Laserjet printers. So with that, I'd like to say thank you again for coming. Thank you for the time out, and I hope you have a good morning ahead. Okay, thank you, and Gomas Tuki.
As Dashi just mentioned, this is not a formal presentation. Actually, while we are presenting our product, what we can offer to you, we want to hear from you. We value your feedback as well, right? So, Ian just talk about all about HP, what sort of the technology that we can offer you, right? So now in the today's discussion, we want to focus on the desktops and notebooks, mainly on the client side, right? So coming back to IT, right now today we are talking about big data, mobility, and cloud computing, and get into the social networking like Facebook, Twitter, and so many things. So with that, there are so many trends and so many concepts now we are talking about in today's IT, right? So with all these changes are happening in the world, now we have identified new workforce. So what does it mean? So we have new, multicultural people, even the multi-generational, right? Now all these, they always want to be connected to the system, right? So likewise, we have new workplace. Now people working from anywhere of the world, right? Some people working from on-site, some people working from home or any other place, right? And work style. So now we have seen some people, the employees basically, they are carrying 2-3 devices, right? Either mobile, the tablet or smartphone or notebook, right? So with all these changes happening, now basically we are in the transformation in the workplace. Now to lead this transformation as we HP, so basically we have product portfolio to meet all these needs. Now starting from workstation, actually workstation is meant for graphics oriented and high-end application requirements. So in the today's discussion we are not going to focus on that area much. Then notebook and desktop. That is what we are going to discuss mainly today. Then convertible, detachable. So I think some people, some employees, they want to work in both formats, either in the notebook or in the tablet format. So this is a hybrid model that we have in our product portfolio. And tablets. As you know now, mobility is getting popular. Even the tablet is getting more popular. So with that, even recent past, we have introduced one tablet, enterprise tablet. So we have expanded our portfolio. So we'll be introducing more tablet devices, right? Then thin client. Thin client, probably this may be not a new topic for you. I think probably you may have tested that in your environment. So even I think when it comes to cloud VDI, virtual desktop infrastructure, so with that sort of solution, even if you have a web-based application where you want to get into the connectivity, so then probably we can question thin client, right? So coming back to desktop, so how do you see the demand for the desktop? So is it declining or is it increasing? So in your case, how do you see that? Yeah, actually, if you really look at the recent past, there has been, most of the desktop have been replaced with either with notebook or tablets or probably with a smartphone. But we can't totally go away from the desktop because of many reasons. Now, because of that, still some customers, they want desktop. Mainly on the capex investment. So they have this thing because now we have seen that if you really look at the cost factor between the notebook and the desktop, now that parity is getting smaller, right? Probably you can have the notebook at the same cost, but still there's a, when you consider lifespan, number of years that you can use it, even the capex investment still low. Because of that, the lower is you still want to have a desktop. Other thing is high performance. Now some customers, they want expandability. Probably they want to fix additional graphics card, or they also want to connect to the additional peripherals like printing and other external devices, right? So because of that, you need to desktop because it has an expandability capacity. then most flexible. Other thing is now some application require more memory power, like 32 GB, 64 GB, right? Now for that sort of configuration, if you take a notebook, I mean there's some sort of a limitation, but if here we can configure, even we can configure with either processor, depending on the application requirement. Right? So because of that, we need a desktop. Then it's mainly because of the security. If you take the finance sector, the company, they want their employees to take their machine to their home because of the data security. For that, so desktop is a perfect form factor. Then, okay, now coming back to our business portfolio. Now we have many models, categories, right? Starting from value, mainstream, and premium. So we have introduced this product depending on the various requirements. For example, if you like a SMB customer, they are not worried about the much security and the manageability features, right? Probably for them, this value desktop from the starting 200 and 400. Now if you go further from 600 to 700 to 800, so here we are talking about this manageability features, security features, and more expandability features, right? For those customers who want that sort of feature, probably they can go with the 600, 700, and 800. Then, but even in today's discussion, we want to give much more focus on the 200 and 400 series. Even we have seen some of the enterprise customers, they are getting 400 series also purely because of the price point. Price point in the sense, I mean, they have the basic computer configuration. Even before, let's say, you have a requirement, right? So before you decide whether you need to go with the what sort of a processor, you decide what sort of form factor you require, depending on that user, whether that user want to take that notebook to their home or mobility, that sort of thing. So in that case, if you decide to go with the notebook, obviously, then you have to select the notebook processor. What is the main difference comparing the notebook and the desktop processor? Probably you may have seen the clock speed difference, right? The notebook processor, it comes with the lesser clock speed difference. But here, we are leveraging from the notebook processor. But there again, you can configure with the Core i3, Core i5, Core i7 processor. But when it comes to 600 above, basically it's a Intel, basically desktop processor, ultra low voltage processor. Now, when it comes to cost, it's sometimes it depends on the probably various aspects, but generally it's equal or slightly higher. But what you're saving from electricity bill, even the space saving, even it reduces the carbon footprint, right? Because nowadays customers they're much more keen on this green concept, right? So they are putting so much of focus on that. So for that sort of, there are intangible benefits like that. Space saving, even the AC you may require less AC, and the various way of deploying the unit, you need have a small workspace, like that, right? So any question? Memory here you can go up to 16 GB. You can configure with the 16 GB. I think most of the requirements, I think we can live with 16 GB. Yeah. So I think that's issue. I think actually it has a notebook hard drive. So even it has a small fan. So here you get the memory modules as well. No, yeah, that's the thing. It's a mind block on me. Basically, if you decided to go with a notebook without looking at comparison, you are going with that. It's basically now. Other thing is now Intel processors. When you come to probably you may have come across that sort of issue. Now, even the desktop, this mini desktop also, they are having this high frequency, high. As I told you, 600 and above, we are having the ultra low voltage desktop processor. So, sorry, you have to picture. No, it's a power cable, power cable basically. Yeah, that is possible, right? As I told you, there are various of options. option you can deploy the unit. Now there's a stand you can get it with this, right? Now here, now with the quick release kit, we can hang the device backside of the monitor. Right? So even when it comes to cable management, that also much more easier when compared to the traditional desktop. Now, question is, if you can get the same thing done, why you need such a big box? So that's the question. Even that's why we are calling this device as a next generation form factor. So because this is honestly the first time that in a bigger thing that we are launching this product. But previously we have given demo units for the few identified customers, but we got good feedback from them. Yeah, even we can configure with the wireless option also. We can configure we can put an internal wireless card also. Plus, it has a RJ45 cable where you can connect to MP4 LAN. If not, wireless option is also possible. We can put a Wi-Fi card into the machine. Basically, it's a full functioning PC. Only thing is, when it comes to, it's obvious thing, the optical drive and other stuff. Even though sometimes we don't need additional, if you are not connecting to external peripherals, you don't need serial port and parallel port, right? So we have taken those out. But if you take the USB, there are USB ports and also display port, VGA. Right? So hope you are. Yeah. Yeah. Can do, because it supports 64-bit, 32-bit. So even because basically it's you get the same sort of processor and hard drive. You have enough more storage to even install the Office or OS, whatever the order. So normal desktop basically. Warranty actually now we can give you the 1-year warranty, even the 3 years warranty. If you take the 200 series, we can go up to 3 years warranty. But if you go further, so we are talking about these additional features, self-healing BIOS tool and other stuff. So you are getting those features with those models also, but because of that is much more reliable and durable. Because of that, we are offering 5 years warranty also. So there's an option of going with 4th year, 5th year warranty as well from manufacturer itself, HP itself. So anything else on that? So anyway, now we want to discuss one more thing. So before you go, if you're interested on that, we do have some units which we want, because probably we understand, because suddenly we come up with such a small device, probably you have a question whether it really suits your requirement, whether I can get the real sort of a performance from this machine, right? So if you have some sort of doubt on that, please let us know. We can give a demo unit, probably you can test that out for a while and you can take a decision. Before you go, even our partners are there, please let them know, so then we can arrange the demo unit. Yeah, it comes with the unit. It's a general normal USB mouse thing. So it comes with the box. Once you order the device, notebook, like normal desktop, right? You are getting this keyboard and mouse. So you get it in one box. Right? So that's all about on that. So actually you have seen, even you have seen in that video, there are various of methods to deploy the unit, right? Now, since I'll just briefly explain to you, right? Now, since we just spoke about this thin client, when we introduced that to customers, they had a question whether can I replace it with all my desktop? That answer is yes, no. Because if you really look at that definition, it's a device which enables you to get into the internet access, right? From that, you can get into the cloud or your web-based application. Basically, it's an appliance which has no hard drive. It has a flash memory only. Even we can't install any big applications like Microsoft Office, right? Probably we are talking about 16 GB, 32 GB maximum. Even we can go up to 64 GB. But when we go with the higher capacity, then you don't see the price gap between the desktop and the thin client sometimes, right? Now, basically it's a reliable because it has no hard drive, because of that no security threat, right? So you don't need to install any antivirus software. Even it has a embedded OS. What does it mean? Basically, now it's a cut down version of the OS full version. Now, what they have done is they have taken out certain unnecessary components, like you paid, normally if you take the full version you get paid and other component, right? So they have removed that, they have done a embedded version. That's why even that is coming at a very low cost, right? Now if we do look at the user cases, right? Now mainly I think VDI, desktop, virtual desktop infrastructure, that is all about desktop virtualization, right? Because now if you take the server virtualization, I think we got to know about that probably 6-7 years back, right? Now people, most of the organizations, even the smaller organization, now they are with the server virtualization, right? Now parallelly, we got to know about this concept also, VDI. But even some customers, even the enterprise customers, they try to go with this solution, but it was failed purely because of the CapEx investment mainly. Because now here we are talking about the processing power totally in the back end. So we want to put this processing power to the back end, so we need a back-end servers, back-end storage, even the application to present to the client. So that processing thing happening on the back end. Because of that, on the client side, we just need a appliance to get into the back end only, right? Because of that, even actually because that CapEx in Manjula, for example, if you take the Citrix or VMware or any other new the application to present that to the client, that application cost is the huge. Now, if you put everything together as a solution, sometimes you can justify compare with the desktop replacement, with the traditional desktop. So, because of that, it's not moving. That's why we have seen only very less, but still on the VDI where thin clients being used, because then they calculate from the total cost of ownership, showing okay over the period of 3 years or 4 years that you are saving from the energy consumption, because it consumes very less power, right? So that also put into the calculation, but still we have some challenges to do that. But main user cases, we have seen many banks, right? They are on the web-based application. Even for example, with simple example directory, so they don't want to store data on the local hard drive, just they want to serve the internet. In that case, we can use the thin client. Even actually this is one of our models that we have. Even you have seen this is somewhat in size, compact, it's bigger than the normal this mini desktop that we have shown. Actually that's why we want to give us some sort of general differentiation just to understand, and we want to give the clear message that mini desktop is not a thin client, it's a full functioning PC, right? So any question on this? Right. Then this is all about military standard certification. I told you on the 800, if you take the extreme on top category, so it has a elite military standard certification. So that means it has tested in various environments, the dusty environment, low temperature, high temperature, vibration test, drop test. Now here its total testing process is 150,000 hours, right? So this is to make sure that it's reliable. So this is all about the serviceability. It's a spool-less design, so which helps you to reduce your downtime. Then usability, because now to get the rich user experience, we have various models on the form factors depending on their requirement. Right? So environment, there again another topic, because some customers specifically asking we need the Energy Star certified for the power supply. With that we have option, so depending on the customer requirement we can configure with the energy efficient power supply or with the standard power supply. Now there again I told you even the 600 and above, so we get this tool we call a biosphere, that is self-healing BIOS tool. So when there's a the BIOS attack or BIOS error, it has the ability for data protection. From the hardware, we have this certified TPM module, which is embedded, right? As you know, if someone tries to remove your hard drive and retrieve your data, that can be done with this security feature, right? If you come to the BIOS level, so this is a hard drive locking feature, right? These are there. I think you can. Even now, if you take the HP drive encryption, that is we can encrypt sensitive data. So even the password manager, as you know, today we have many passwords getting to the office network and social media, either Twitter or Facebook, many others. So it helps you to remember your password, right? Even the security wipe data from hardware. Once you do that, completely erase from your hard drive. Even the word of virus attack and device access manager. Those things be available, be bundled with those high-end PCs. Right? There again, I'm not going into the technical, the feature-wise technical detail. So this is all about this REACH 800. It's a military standard certified machine, and it comes with this BIOS and other security feature software. Plus, it's a design, so it helps you to have a lower down. There again, 600 again. So BioSphere, that's actually BioSpool, and even the chipset. You know how it differs is depending on the chipset, right? So even the chipset, the level of security that you get is differ from chipset to chipset. So this is 406. Again, it comes with Q85 chipset, but lower more than 600. This is the 400 series. Actually, it has H81 chipset, right? So now still on desktop we are offering on 4 processors only. So this is 280. This is a low cost affordable PC. But here again there is a limitation. Now we can't go up to voice 7. So if you want to go voice 7, obviously we have to go with the product 400. But if not, if you have the basic need to go with the Core i3 Core i7 up to memory 16 GB, so this is the best model which gives the value reduce on the capex. But you have a choice of going with the Windows 8, Oppo, any version of OS. So other form factors, as you know, is the all-in-one, right? For that also, we are offering all-in-one in 400 series and 600 series. But if you go with the 600 series, we have only set of like we have separate monitors. Here we have only the fixed sort of the screen size models only. So here 21.5 non-touch, and on the 400 series we are offering touch and the non-touch. So 21.5, 19.5. I think these are somewhat familiar form factors, right? Now people start looking at that also, but there again, if you really look at the cost factor, sometimes you don't see the benefit. If you don't consider other intangible aspects like space saving, energy saving, and that which look at giving. So if not, still this is comparatively normal desktop. It's still poor. Okay. Now I'm going to the one. So any question on the desktop? So that's all about that I have on the desktop. Okay. So can as I shared with you, with all the changes are happening. Even the now users, they are much more demanding rich user experience, right? Because there's some sort of mixing with their personal and the official life. While they are using their official file, probably they want to get into the Facebook or any other social devices or social media also, right? With that, so they need even the people who mobility. So while they are traveling, they want to do their office work as well. So with that, so they are demanding lightweight, sleek, and thin, and with the latest technology, right? Whereas IT managers, they have a separate set of challenges like they want to make sure that their employees get the best satisfaction, and data security is key, and easy deployment and management, right? even the long life stability and various, they have to adhere whatever the IT industry, the standards, right? So we see there's a gap. Basically, what we have identified is consumerization with commercialization, right? So whereas these now users, they are requesting some sort of consumer features plus, whereas IT managers, they want to maintain this commercial feature. So with that, so we are helping to do that transformation with now all these models. If you take the notebook, those are much more thinner than the previous generation notebook. So we have introduced many other book notebooks. So we have even thin and lighter, even the self-scaling as I shared with you. So it's all about additional application that we are bundling with the unit. So biosphere, for example, even the expand touch capability, even our notebooks and even the tablet, obviously we get with the touch, but even the notebook, we have the touch capability as well. Even the data protection, even the identity protection, like those applications. Plus, we are working towards the next data technology. Right? Now, similarly on the desktop, the notebook, so we have the 200 and 300, 400 and 600, 800, right? There again, how we differ is, now if we go further, so we are talking about much more reliability, manageability and security and also expandability. Right? So here 200 and 400 series, it's all about value. Right? So if you need the basic computer needs, which you have a budget constraint also, so probably these are the models that you can focus. Right? There again, now if you go further up, so we are talking about these manageable features, right? For example, the Pro configuration, even it has a longer life cycle. So even globally available. Now some of the customers, they have branches in other locations also. They want to have they want to standardize on one model. So then they have to select globally presenting model. So if you take this 700, 800, even if you go to India, even if you go to Singapore, you can see this model, right? So otherwise, under this 200, 400 series, so even 400 series you can see it's not a very entry-level model, it's a mid-range. Where we can get this bias here through even that's a longer life cycle than other 400 series and 300 series, right? So these are the models again. So start from 200, 400 to 600, 800. There you get different screen sizes, right? So if you want nowadays, mainly 14.1, 15.1 speed. Here you get now if you take the Pro 440. Now second digit always showing the screen size, that is 14 inches. Now if you take 450, that is 15 inches. Likewise 640, 650. Now all these now if you really look at the generation, now we are taking from now initially we introduced G1, that will be the 4th gen processor. Now Intel has already introduced 5th gen processor. Even now we are shipping with 5th gen processor. So I think if you have to order any recent order, all these comes with the 5th gen processor. So that now we are shifting to generation 2. Right? Now here 200 series, as I told you, very entry-level notebook. So you can configure either the i3, i5, even the memory 8 GB, and even you can go with the whatever the required OS, standard OS or good version of so even 400 series we have 17.3, we call 47032, and we have option of bundling configuring with the dedicated VGA. You can choose preferred wireless card, right? Right. So those are. Okay. So I'm just giving some back. Now even our all notebooks are Energy Star certified notebooks, right? So 800, as I told you, even we have 820, that is 12.1 screen notebook. So even we have the few demo in the unit. So you can see later on, you can see here now if you take this is the 840. So even we consider this as the ultra book. So you know in the ultra book, you don't get the optical drive. There again, if you really require the optical drive, you can get the external optical drive. You can use it. Right? Now other thing is we want to highlight that chassis, right? Now it comes with the magnesium chassis. It helps to reduce the weight without sacrificing durability. Actually this is a 4-layer, I would say, 4-layer surface. Actually this is the same technology that using in the automotive industry. So we are using the similar technology. So because of that, we could come up with a durable and stylish look chassis. Okay? So 800 is all about the serviceability and the design, which helps you to reduce your now 600. So 600 series you can get with the optical drive. Right? Now some customers still want to have with the optical drive, but for those customers, inbuilt optical drive, they can go to 600, right? Now, main difference is, when you really compare to the previous generation, there's a noticeable change on the form factor. It has become much more lighter and thin. Okay, I'll just skip this slide. Okay, this same thing, right? This is all about meter standard certification. So if you take the 800 series, you get the meter standard certification. Then, so these are the additional software that we are shipping in the unit, the high-end unit. So connectivity, this application, even the biosphere, even the file management, and also client security software, right? So we discuss the various of the password and prevent of the hard disk. So other thing is I want to highlight it's the same security feature that you are getting in the most also. So other thing is accessories and the ecosystem that we are giving. Even though we have many displays, even the docking, we have various of docking station. Now if you take the 800 and 600 series, we have a docking port also. But if you take the 400 series, we can connect the USB docking port only. So if you want to get the additional port to connect to the external monitor and to our monitor, so you can have the docking station. Even then we have the basis of many carrying cable models depending on your requirement, right? So basically that's all about notebook. I think once you got to know about models, then if you have requirement, you can further go into the technical details of it. So if you have any issues on the selecting a model, please let us know. So depending on your budget, we can help you out to identify the correct model, right? Even actually then this tablet. So I think some of you are aware that we have already introduced one tablet that is called HP 1000 with the fully functioning the OS. You can select with the standard OS or Windows Go. It's basically it's a Windows tablet, right? Now in other countries we have already launched. This is a new Windows tablet and the Android tablet, 10-inch tablet which we are going to introduce. So basically if you really look at the cost, there's a drastic reduction in terms of cost, right? So I'll just give you some briefing on that. So basically, we call this Pro State 10E, other one is the same thing with the Android. But even we have given some reference prices, right? You can see started from $300, right? Even the Android, 300. Even you don't see the price difference between the Android and the Windows, because I think that is some sort of collaboration with the Microsoft. As you know now, Android is getting much more popular when it comes to devices, right? And other smartphone and the tablets, right? Because of that problem, Microsoft they will come up with a different strategy to promote their. But there's a, in terms of licensing fee, there's a drastic reduction. I mean, because of that, because Elite Pad, when we try to purchase, so there are only few customers who can afford even to go with the Microsoft, right? But here, this may be the best model. In the next few months probably we'll be getting some requirements. If you have requirements, please let us know so that we can share that with you to test that with your. Take for example, if you say Salesforce automation, right? People who are on the road, they need a rubber tablet. Because now even I want to highlight now, probably even there are some tablets in the consumer space, right? Consumer category. Because now here, all products, what we are talking about, on the commercial category. So even the consumer, there are some other products you can get at a very cheap price, but there's a real difference when it comes to commercial tablet that awareness, even some of the applications that we are bundling with the students, right? You can see that. So even the ecosystem that we are giving that, we have various options. You can get the productivity jacket, even you can have the external keyboard, even the sliders, even the charging card, many other options. So mainly we are focusing on the education and sales force automation and telco, right? So even if you have any requirement, please let us know so that we can do this in your environment. So even especially on the education sector, now with this tablet, we are shipping with this education software, right? So it's like a content management software. I mean, even teachers, they can upload their content, student content. So students, they can go and use those. There are many other things that you can do, right? Even though there is actually e-textbook library. It's even this classroom manager, you can share with your other students, right? So which has the main capability. In your case, probably that may be not relevant, but these sort of software under the bundle and so shipping with the unit. So actually that's all I have on the desktop. So anyway, do be around. Even we are talking through some of the products. Please let us know if you have any questions. Let us know. Right. Thank you.
So basically, I actually, as you know, I'm the market development manager for Jet Printing Systems for Asian emerging markets. So I handle Sri Lanka. So my birth of HP was in Sri Lanka, and then started on managing some other countries. So my role in HP is to develop markets in terms of jet printing systems and supply, right? So basically, ink printers, basically you guys will have different perceptions, right? So today I'm not going to just go on in my presentation, to me and then go back to your office and get back to your normal life. So today I have an objective that I could at least alter some of your thoughts about jet printing systems, right, and supplies, right? Maybe I'm trying that. So basically, let's see, right? It will be a more or less an interactive session. I will be around this area. I won't be there, right? And I'll be asking certain things. So I value your feedback, right? Which is really important for us to adjust as well as for me to alter some of your perceptions about jet printing systems. All right? Okay. Right. I've just go through. What we intend to do is we want to have, especially on the office space, jet printing system has a consumer range and a commercial range. Commercial range is more or less called office jet printing, right? Which is mainly targeted at the essential, right? So basically, we have laser product, which is my colleague will take you later on, right? So laser, and I will also tell how to differentiate lasers and especially when it comes to your office environment, right? So mainly I'm talking about the first color, right? This is one of the key priorities that we have on the Asia Pacific range, and we have been doing so many innovations in office jet printing systems to make, right, make it affordable, have quality printouts, and then to primarily save operational cost in terms of in your office. Okay. Okay. Right. Basically, when it comes to office-jet printing systems, we have three categories. Starting from the lowest, the office-jet range, and little bit of advanced version of the office-jet Pro X, and the hero version, we call it office-jet Pro X. Right. Mainly, I'll be talking about the hero product, but also I'll be touching on all the low end, that is office-jet Pro and office-jet as well. Okay? Right. I'll just start off with a video. Right? This video was played in Singapore maybe a few months back. It's little towards the funny side of it. But there are certain important factors that you all can gather in terms of office printing. Okay, so let's have a look at it first. Few things. Okay, in terms of what is actually advertisement. Right? What do you think? Is it give certain insight when it comes to office printing? Right. First thing, it will take the requirement, whether your office needs what type of a printer. Right? It could be, and how many users. There are certain elements that you have to consider before going into a printing solution. The bigger the printer, the more features you have, the cost of the printer is also going to go high. Right? There are instances you need that type of printing solution, but there are instances you can do away without it. Right? Maybe, for example, maybe if you take a bank. Bank has many branches, right? Head office might need some advanced printer, right, to manage certain things. But it comes to a branch operation, maybe out of Colombo, right? The branch might have maybe about roughly the small to medium bank will have about 10 to 15 or maybe 20 employees in that. So, do we still need that type of a heavy duty printer in that branch? Right? Those type of considerations as IT managers we will have to make prior making solutions. Right? So I'll just take you through, right, how we position our products, right, to cater some of your significant needs that come across in day-to-day printing. Okay, and the next thing is I would when it comes to ink technology, what type of perception that you all have against lasers? I would like to know from you all. Can somebody say? Yeah. Sorry? Most people think it's slow. Agreed? Disagreed? If it is disagreed, why? Anybody disagree? Okay, I think it as a no. Anything else? And somebody else? Not you, friend. I'll go to this side. What is better, laser or ink, and why? Or your perception about laser, no, why do you say ink printers are bad? Anybody? Yeah? Quality printing is? Okay, you can't get quality printouts, right? Okay, one said it's slow, the quality. Anybody else? Durability in terms of, okay, fine. Durability in terms of, okay, how in doesn't last long or whatever. It's not used for like, you know, rugged use. Okay, fine, agreed. I have 3 suggestions. Any more? Is it low or expensive? More expensive than a laser. Okay, fine, I have 4. Very good. Any more? That's all? Okay, good enough. As we go along, I will tell you, okay, recently what we have done to change these perceptions. Okay, so before I start off, I'll just do another one more video which will let you know how we have started this innovation maybe approximately about 1 or 2 years ago, right? The ink technology has been changing. So I will show you how HP has tried to innovate in terms of ink technology. Can we have the video? The guys for having tea, just come and take your seats. Please, maybe if you want to grab a tea or a drink, just do that. Please go ahead and come back to your seat and have your drink. Okay, moving on. Right, in terms of our Officejet portfolio, right, we have starting from printers, starting from cater to the needs of small work teams, up to mobile printing, right? Just one question. You guys have seen these billboards in and around town? Yes? The big ones? The levers, the dialogues, the Mobitels have their hoardings outside. Can somebody tell me what technology those flexes are printed? Ink, right? It's actually ink. These big billboards you see, printed through ink printer. Like large format printers, of course, right? Technology is ink, right? What we are trying to do is, right, bring that same quality into our printers, which is catered to the SME sectors. One thing which I want to tell you, right? So, ink technology, right? In previous years there had been quality issues, but moving forward, we have reduced them, right? So these are the printers. I'm not going to talk about each of these printers to you because I have almost how many? 10 there, right? There are within these categories you can see there are like 2 multifunction printers, 2 single function printers. So down is a single function. You just can only print. The top is the multifunction. You can print, scan, copy, and you have certain things like wireless and things like that, right? So if you could see, under each category, you have about 2 printers. So if I start talking about each printer, it will take the whole day. So basically, today's objective here is what type of functionalities we have, and in terms of what type of value proposition we are going to give you all or introduce to you all in terms of Office printer. Okay? So, okay. Next, this is the most important thing, right? At the end of my presentation, if you all can't remember anything, at least I want you to remember this right. This is the most, how you're going to identify what printer that you're going to use in terms of office printing for your offices, right? The first is, okay, this will give you an indication where to position lasers and where to position ink printers in your office, right? First and the foremost thing is whether your office has a requirement of printing color or just print only black and white to save cost. right? That's the first foremost important thing that you have to decide when you're introducing a printing solution. If you don't want to print color, right? Basically, the inkjet portfolio does not have any printer to cater that requirement, right? The printers, the Officejet series will always, you can print color, right? So basically, if you want to print only black and white, you all have to switch to a laser printer, which means laser, you have monochrome printers, you only print black and white. Okay, right. If you have decided you want to print color, the next step, how many users are going to use this printer? Right? If it is just one or two, or just here for the reference sake is 1 to 5, right? It's 5 is not a hard concrete number, so we can even 6, 7 is all right. But just for the guideline per se, we have 1 to 5. Then we have Officejet Pro printer, which is the mid-range of our series. The next is, if it is more than 3 users or 5 users, right, and which is still maybe within, if it is manageable within 15 to 20 users, we have the highest end, which is Officejet Pro X, which the hero product of my portfolio, right? And then that is also, you all can decide if it is more than 20 users. Again, Officejet cannot cater your demands, right? Then we recommend lasers. You just evaluate a laser product, right? Again, if the product falls within the 15 number of users, the colors, but you still need higher security functionalities, things like that, manageability, then probably I would recommend you would look at a laser product. This is our worldwide positioning against Officejets and lasers. Next, I'll talk to you about now why inkjet or vision. Okay, you all have any clarification so far from what I have said in terms of identifying a requirement for your office printing? Raise your hands. Anybody all have used inkjet printer before? I have one here, two here. Is it in your office or in your office? Both. You're at office or at your office? Office. What are the models can you do? You have it? 4625. Okay. What are the models you have it in office? Okay, and you? 4200. Okay, fine. I think you must have purchased some time back as well. Alright, so I have few experienced people with Officejets as well as DeskJet. Well, actually, I would like to say DeskJet, I'm not discussing it today. Actually, it is meant for this particular model, this 4645, that is for small office, home office sort of environment. So I will be not touching that area, but I will be more focusing on Officejet side of it. Alright, first thing is, it's too expensive. I think somebody said expensive. Alright, so okay, what we promise with the hardware or the printer, right? If you compare same printer or the same class printer with a laser, okay, our hardware cost is approximately 50% lower, right, compared to the same class. Okay? So if you take the functionalities, similar functionalities, if you take the laser product as well as Officejet product, I would say Officejet hardware cost is 50% lower, right? That is one. And also another cost saving factor what we have all our printers are image star qualified, which will save 50% of our electricity cost, right? And the ink, the cost per page, as I go along, I'll show you. In Officejet, roughly, I would say in Sri Lankan terms, Officejet color printer will cost you about 7 to 8 rupees, right? That is, what I'm doing is, I'm taking the cost of the cartridge, right, converted into our rupee terms, and the number of pages you can print from a cartridge, right? So our highest end printer, which is Officejet 476, which is also displayed here, right, which has a cartridge There is a cartridge, right? This cartridge can print 9,200 pages per cartridge, right? If you're printing color, it will be about 7 to 8 rupees, depending on the conversion rate, and a black would cost you somewhere about 2 rupees to 250, right? So basically, as we go along, I'll just show you some of the stats, right? But maybe you all can also inquire through one of our partners the cost of these cartridges and the number of pages you can print. You can do your own math and see how much will it cost the organization, right? So 2 rupees or maybe is not that expensive, because right now for $2, what can you do? Probably you can buy a coffee, I suppose, but you can print one page, right? So comparatively, or maybe if you go to a different environment, I would say still getting a color printout or a black printout, which will cost a little higher. So this is what we promise in terms of the cost. Right. The next is what we promised is, I've already spoken about the image star, the automatic duplexing. It reduces your paper cost to half, because I have seen some big offices, what they have done is once it's used, one side maybe the managers request you to use the other side as well, right? So here what you could do is, printing itself, you have the option of printing duplex, which will reduce your paper cost. Right? Any questions so far in terms of the cost factor? All right. The reliability, I think you said the reliability is okay. Okay, again, there was issues few years back, but I would like to say, okay, this printer, this has two, the higher range and a lower range, is 476 and the 576. When we introduced this in 2013, yes, 2013, this printer was awarded as the fastest desktop printer, right? And it held the Guinness World Record for the fastest desktop printer, right? So that is for 2013. And also 2014, again, it was not from Guinness, but again there was a certification still. It's the fastest desktop printer. Okay, and also these printers will come with a standard 1-year warranty, right? And can be extended up to 3 years, right? That is, of course, there will be additional cost for about 3 years, but you can, right? So actually next thing is, if you have not improved, you will not get these certifications. Right? If it is not reliable, we will not get this certification, right? And also, as I go along, in US there is an organization called Bias Laboratory, right? All our printers have that certification, certified by the Bias Laboratory for reliability. Okay, so that certification again will not be granted if we have some reliability issues in terms of our printers. Alright? Okay. Page-wide technology. Now see, I have 3 people. I would like to know now again, tested. How does it print? Now let's say for example you give the command. How does the printer work? That you have a head. Yes. Print technology, the ink technology those days, if you have a head on an ink printer, what generally happens is, as and when it prints, the printer heads moves back and forth. That's why you all mostly say ink printers are slow. Obviously, if you're printing like a one full page of, like say, a Word document full of text, what happens? It goes back and forth for you to print. Then it obviously takes maybe for a minute, it will take at least about maybe 10 pages or less than that, or maybe even slower. Right? And especially if you have some graphics on it, it will take even more. Right? The technology there is, what happens is, this head has like so many area where the ink drops flow into the paper. Right? So what we have done on our Officejet range, we have introduced this page-wide technology. This is the head. Where head does not move, right? And there are 42,000 nozzles where the ink flows in, right? From this head, which flows into the paper, which means it gives, the head does not move, the paper passes by, which means it's created more faster printouts. Okay, I was just telling why this range was won as the world's fastest printer. This is the reason behind. 42,000 nozzles, right, ink drop at once. So the head is stable, the paper passes by. So it can print, the highest range can print up to 70 pages per minute. That's why we were made as the world's fastest desktop printer, right? That is on the general office mode. There are 3 functionalities you all have under this. That is general office, which is normal day-to-day printing, can print up to 70 pages. But if you are going to the professional mode, obviously, in order to increase the quality, the speed drops. But that still can print about 42 pages per minute, which is considerably fast, right? And also if you want further quality, there is this another option called presentation, which doesn't give as much as fast printers as professional or general office mode, but it reduces the speed up to about 28 pages per minute, but it gives high quality print. Right? But on an office environment, we need that type of quality environment if we're doing a presentation. Now, as I said, again, the quality issue has been drastically improved with this paint dry technology. Right? If you take a normal traditional ink printer, something like 4640, which does not have maximum, it has about 8 to 10,000 numbers, right? Which means the ink flow. But if it is 42,000, which means it gives more ink drops per second, right? That means the quality of the printer drastically increases from a low-end printer like 4640 with a traditional inkhead which has about 8 to 10,000 muscles, whereas head which gives you 42,000, which has 42,000 muscles, and it does not move, right? So generally, in terms of the traditional ink printer, sometimes when you print a big load, you might see some lines between the papers, like you'll have some just crushed somewhere, right? Those issues will not be there on a printer which has a static printer head, right? So the quality itself will improve, and then also on this Officejet range we have a specialized. Another issue that we have is, especially on ink, if you sprinkle a little bit of water, right? You try to use a highlighter and then try to highlight it. There will be issues on where there will be, right? But right now what we have done is all our Officejet range, Officejet Pro and Officejet Pro X range, use a specialized ink called pigment ink, right, which has faster drying times, right, and then it is smear resistant, right, and it will not fade away, right, if you just sprinkle a little bit of water. So those are the improvement things that we have done in order to have more quality printouts in office environment. All right. This is from our new range. What we have done is maybe about the last 2-3 years. What we have done is with this product coming in, we have improved speed of printing. Then we promise to save half as much as cost compared to a laser in the same class. Okay. And half the cost of resources, which is the paper and the energy, and uninterrupted printing, and which has single function features that just print only, and then multi-function features will go into features like print, scan, copy, and we have some sort of web applications which use your day-to-day office functionalities. And also it has duplex, then we have things called wireless printing, e-print, and those type of functionalities on this product. Okay. I'm sorry, these figures are a little smaller, so sometimes you all have some visibility. Basically what I have done here is, right, in terms of speed, right, I have done a comparison with a competition products in the same class. right? So basically, this shows how we improve cost per page in terms of speed, right? And in terms of the yield, as I said, this can print 9,200, which is black. Color can print 6,600 pages, right? And manageability is also quite easy. Me, just wanted to pull up a cartridge, just a matter of pulling up. Just want to install it back to it. Simple. Right? Right, and another thing which I'll just, as we go along, the important factor for an office environment is what we call the total cost of ownership. Let me come back to that. And as I said, this is the certificate of reliability, as I said, bias laboratory. These are the certificates. So basically, for whatever the printer you select, Officejet Pro or Officejet Pro X, right? This is a public site. You just can go to this bias laboratory site, right? And you can view this certificate online. Okay? Okay, the care packs. As I said, all our printers will come with a standard 1-year warranty, but it can be extended to up to 3 years, right? With, of course, with an additional cost of a care pack, but it can be extended, right? And we have our service partners in Sri Lanka, so it can be repaired or exchanged, right? If there's any issue. Okay, before I go this, I think there's a video, right? Product videos that I have already made. I have addressed certain things like the affordability in terms of quality, then the reliability and the speed, right? So basically, not all of them, but some of these products are already displayed. Maybe if you are willing to at least the high-end solutions, right? Feature printing. If you're willing to try out certain products, that is also most welcome. So probably just speak to us, and then we will see how best we could arrange some demo facility for you all. Okay. Okay. Another one more thing which I want to talk about is the total cost of ownership. I think this is another important factor for any organization, right? Basically, here what I'm referring to is for a period of 1 year, right? Basically, for acquiring a printer from HP, right? Inkjet solution, what we promise is look at the total cost that you will incur from your organization for a period of 1 year. That includes the hardware cost, right? Then the supplies cost for a period of 1 year. So what we promise is, if you are evaluating certain competition, right? Just without looking at, because most of the corporates, what I have seen is when I speak to the enterprise managers, the commercial account managers, they would say, come back to us and say the cost of the printer is expensive. What we are promising you all is, it's not just the cost of the printer. The total cost that your organization is going to incur for a period of 1 year using our printers or maybe competition, right? So just do an evaluation and see. Take the cartridge cost, probably, and what type of your usage you all have within your organization, and put your printer cost together. Because every day, let's say for example, saving money on the printer, right? The cost of the printer, right? And if you're going to incur a higher cost of page for a period of 1 year, that savings will not count at the end of 1 year, right? So my suggestion is, another thing when you're doing evaluation, yeah. Total cost is total for a period of 1 year, right? How much that you will cost in terms of printing the spare parts and the what do you call the toners or cartridges, right? So totally that will be your cost, right? Maybe for your department that will be your printing cost for a period of 1 year. So just try to have a rough evaluation, right? If you're using this product, what is your and benefit you can modify. Well, if you want certain advanced features, but still, then there is a cost involved, right? But overall, my suggestion is have a evaluation how much it will cost, not just the printer. Let's say you might get probably a $10, $20 discount from a competition product, but then if you're going to incur that on the supplies or the consumables, at the end of 1 year you're not going to make anything, right? So that's a suggestion when you're evaluating printing solutions. And I think as long if it is falling within the guidelines which I've showed you in the first, I think Officejet printing solutions can give you considerable cost saving, not only on hardware, energy, as well as your supplies, right? So, right, before I go to that, I will just sum up. I have, okay. This is basically, these are some of the products that we are planning to introduce. So, towards the latter part of this year, we are planning some advanced features, advanced product than what we have at the moment. So stay tuned, stay connected to our HP partners, the account managers, and we will give you more information on what are the latest technologies that we are going to introduce in order to minimize your cost in your organization. Okay, lastly, I would like to play just one video, right? All this time, you all have been looking at HP videos, right? Now, I'm going to show you some of the customer referrals, right? The last video, and what they have to say about this solution, right? Just one video I'm done, and all right, anything else that you want to clarify with me? Before I get right now, this printer has a lifetime. Yeah. It's not warranty. It's just like you don't have to replace the head on this product, right? Yeah. So I'll just. Yeah, correct. Yeah. Yeah, so but that's also we provide a 3-year cap. So basically there is no head replacement. Yeah. So head replacement is not required. Anything else? It depends on printer to printer. So basically, let me share your presentation. Anything else? All right. I will wrap up my session, and I will be just there. So if any application you want to make, any information, please do speak to me. Also, the account managers are also there. You can speak to them as well. And thank you very much. I'll just wrap up with the last video. And
go back to where we started a few years ago and take you through. Basically, if you look at HP has been the #1 printer worldwide for the last 15-20 years. I would say easily the last decade we were #1 in single function and in multifunction. So basically the strengths of being #1 was based on the evolution of technology plus the ability to give solutions like emerging solutions like mobility, a workflow solution, not have one sort of printer for all, to give a manageable solution with single function, multifunction, a workflow situation where you can print, scan, copy, email, and so on. And most importantly, in high sensitive countries where security is a major concern, to give the IT managers peace of mind by having security and managing the fleet also, like organizations and enterprise, they would have so many printers, being able to manage and adapt their print network in a fine way. So these were our core strengths where we were building our technology and we were the leaders throughout. So now we are going to change the goalpost, I would say, or change the direction based on the demands of the people. So just one more slide. We're doing all this, we have been, since 2012, last 3 years, we've been winning all the major awards. PC Magazine, CNET, BLI, Macworld, PC World, and so many awards throughout. We have also passed the 200 million, actually this is 1 year old. We passed the 200 million HP laser printer in 2013 December actually. So now it must be about 200 million plus another 200,000 probably. Right, so what are we going to talk now? What is the technology we're trying to change or reinvent? Let me take you through. We just saw one of the videos which I presented. Basically, these white sort of printers which you see here are just brand new. It has been introduced worldwide only a few weeks ago. So this is the same technology I'm bringing to Sri Lanka, and you can also touch and feel. The latest technology evolves around few evolving reasons. One is people don't want to have busy big offices or space is quite expensive. So they want to have a size which they can adapt in their organization. So that is one of the key highlights. Sorry, the slide is a bit too small, but I'll talk you through in the other slides also on the key elements of this. And secondly, they want to see more to perform with less. In other words, today all things are going up in price, there's nothing coming down. So if you use the same toner those days, if you can print 5, they want 5,000 for example, they want to pay it more. How can they do it? And also today electricity bills and all those things are also in the rise. So how can you save energy? How can you save the environment? So these are the factors which was thought and brought back to HP, where we have to reinvent ourselves based on the customer's impact, customer's views. Instead of we always creating something for the customer, we want to get customer's view and work, re-engineer our solutions. So these are the printers which we have reinvented. So I'll just basically, like I said, the needs of the customer was to fit into their small offices and to have those that when you had a single function, to have a multi-function with a versatility sort of environment, compact, and also some of the printers conventionally, the low-end printers or the SMB segment was never in the high quality of printing, but it was not about HP, it is in general what they were saying, but HP always maintained the quality. And also easy printing. Today everybody carries a smartphone, everybody is wireless, everybody tries to work from home. So how can you adapt all this together? And also, as I said, people sometimes buy the printer and subsequently realize that you pay more for your supplies. So how can you bring the balance, the proper balance between these two? And also, finally, manageability. Now, even anybody who uses a printer would realize that how cumbersome it is sometimes. You know, if it's a laser print, it is even more cumbersome at times, because if toner spills, it's not good. It's a health hazard. Also, you have to remove it, and you don't know how to put it. And so many, now, even my wife, for instance, I use a laser printer. She wanted me to come and install it until I told her this is so easy. But the perception is such that it's a laser printer, it's not easy to manage. So all those things were taken back and we worked backward in order to create the need for your walls. I think this is a bit too small, so I'll take you to the larger one. Basically, this is the smallest multifunction in the class of, I would say, the SMP range. That is the printer which is there, the multifunction white one there. We will take you through once we are done. You can have a touch and feel and print and do all those things. And in the class of 18 ppm, you won't get such a small one. And the other thing is technology has two sides. For example, you have certain components in that they say if it gets heated quickly, it will consume more power. So if it, therefore, you need to have a situation where you don't mind waiting for 1 minute in order for you to get a printout. But that is not right, because you can't wait so long. So we have also brought a balance where this has the fastest first page out in that class, and it saves energy also. And there is a new technology which I will talk you through. The reason for evolving this technology is also to give you the benefit of identifying the proper supplies and having benefits through that as well. So these technologies will drive to that. This is the first product launch, and the new technology is called the toner technology is called jetline technology. I'll talk you through that. It's a beautiful technology. It has its own features and advantages, and everybody who uses it will know exactly whether they're using an original or you're not using an original. And these printers, like notebooks, you would see that if you want a duplex printing capacity, the printer should become bigger. But these are designed with such new technologies that you don't need that facility. It automatically takes you through without any additional bulky size of it. Those are the new inventions which people wanted. It's been brought to your doorstep. So just to go through the same printer which is there, so you can have a live printout once you finish. It's built in with wireless networking, processor of 800 megahertz, a memory of 256. It has a rear door to provide you the printing. Ethernet, of course, everybody has today. Also, it has a fax import. If you want a fax import, you can have it. And a telephone output as well. And automatic two-sided printing. These are features you won't get in this class machine. Then I also have the smallest single function mono printer. This is one of the fastest moving printers we have. 3-in-1, scan, print and copy. We sell, in the region, we sell about 6,000 to 8,000 units in Asian emerging countries. And it is by far most compact and easy to use multifunction printers in the market. It's an A4 printer. HP has a feature called, if you're using HP, you do a feature called wireless direct, where you can directly print without any passwords or anything. You can just print it directly. In this class, this is the only printer which has a bigger LCD display, a 3-in-1 display, and it is in 3 colors. So you could easily identify, the commands and so on, unlike other printers which has I would say 2 into 2 characters and not so capable of knowing what is there. And also, you have some of the features like in Sri Lanka, it is not so popular. That is easy ID copy. Sometimes, you know, when you try to print the identity card or a dual side item, you try to put one side and you have to remember which side you put it so that the next side when you print is upside down. Right? So this will automatically identify those and it will print. And also, one of the challenges people had was also installing a printer and managing the drivers, the hard disk of the CD and so on, because if that gets lost, of course today you have the net to download, but still it's sometimes these models change, sometimes there are firmware upgrades, so you might not be, your PC gets upgraded and so many challenges. But these are easy to install, smart to install printers where you just plug it, automatically it will take the, download the drivers and work for you. And like I said, HP has a printing facility called ePrint, where it can print peer-to-peer, or you can even print, ePrint is where you have an email address to that, and you can connect it to your server or network, and then you can send, like sending an email, you can print through this. And this printer works up to 20 to 21 PPS, pages per minute. Ideally, I just want to share, this is more into the micro home use, office, small office sort of concept where people like to use and look after their print out for a long, or keep it for a longer, archive it for a long period. This is the ideal printer where you can even scan documents, you can have it as a copy at home. And it uses the toner, which now this is the newer one which came out, and the P1102 is our flagship product. This is the new one of the 1102. So a new 1102 will come. The same toner will be used, so it will be freely available any part of the country. Then we also have another printer which is called the 127FL. That one addition has a fax module also, and it's a network printer, so you can use it for your networking for your office environment, which needs faxes as well. That is the only enhancement in that printer. Then just add on to the print list in the assembly space, we have this printer which is called the 201, a brand new printer which has duplex printing, network and wireless printing. And it is in the range of 25 ppm, and it has a 2-line display, and it has a memory of 128 MB. So these are the SMB products which we have, and the most important thing is the new technology driving this, which will help you not only printing, but also in terms of saving and managing the printer. There is also, I just want to share with you the range of scanners we have, for the benefit of people who have not seen the whole range. We have management scanners where we can go up to 55 to 60 ppm, and we have the mobile scanner, if you have not seen it, where it's an A4 scanner, where you can use it to scan like A4 pages online on the go. It's a small device. Then we have departmental scanners where you can scan multiple types of paper. That means you have bills to A4 to printouts, like when I say printouts is hospital bill sort of printouts, and your receipt sort of thing. Anything will automatically take it and do the necessary transformation and scan it for you. So we have different ranges. We have flatbed and we have upright scanners as well. So this is the range. Please speak to us if you have any requirement on that. This technology is just launched worldwide. So it is just being launched in Sri Lanka as well with this brand new printers. Right, the objective of this is fourfold, or the innovation of HP or re-innovation of HP. And in order to give you a saving in energy, faster page out, maximum usage on your cartridge, while doing all this to reduce your size of the print also and space. So in terms of numbers, there would be, in this new printer, you would see a 53% of lower energy than the predecessor. And you would see a 64% faster speed in that printer. And 92% maximum usage, that is almost double yield in color, and 63% more than half large increase in toners. Finally, the size itself, remember, not to really compare, but just an idea. If you look at that printer, ink printer versus this, it's almost the same family. You can see the difference in size. How do you do that? That is the key. Basically, what we are trying to do is to perform more pages. You have seen that video before where it talks about ideally it's more into the color printers, so it gives you more color. And doing that, you'll also see growth in the black, and maximizing the technology in the paper and technology print gauge and fraud technology. These are the items I'm going to talk you through, and how easy it is to manage your printer. Now, if you conventionally, these are too technical, but I thought I'd just share so that you understand how the mechanics of the toner works upon. If you saw that video, you will see that there are n number of toner particles just in the toner cartridge itself, that toner cartridge. So normally what happens is, when it is compact or when it is packed, what they do is they pack it in high pressure so that the HP one is in high pressure, so that from the first page to the last page you will have 100% good quality. But some are not packed like that, in that high temperature and high pressure. That's why you would hear certain toners telling them to shake so that you will have the maximum usage. But here we have got that right, plus now we are using a durable shell which will give you reduced toner wear. Therefore, it will give you the melting speed is slower, so that it will give you maximum pages. And also it will give you faster. It's faster in terms of printing as well. And energy-wise, it will give you, it won't take more energy to heat it up and give you better quality. This is too technical, but in essence, what it does is it gives you more printouts. It gives you faster printouts. So this is also in the same way that it will give you high yields to take the customer value. It is a small and small printer, you can have a small cartridge and view that, and the performance. This is the real way how the mechanism works, the laser beaming and so on. The same concept, where end of the day it will give you 90% more in color, and these are standard based on ISO standard, and 44% more in black. Essentially, it will give you a lower cost per page. Another innovation which I thought I would speak was, sometimes people don't know the behavior of the printer. How you can track how much is being printed, how much more toner is available, and so on. The printer itself, the display will give you this information on those printers. Because it has a bigger display, you can see the yield of each printer and at what point it's going to finish. Apart from this, if you have a network management tool which HP has free of charge, which is called the Webjet admin, you can automatically link it to this and you can see this easily as well. This is the way it will look like on your screen. And another thing is like, apart from that, people always try buy original toners, but find out or don't know whether they have bought the originals, or they get caught thinking it is original. The boxes looks original, but it's not an original toner. So the new printer, the toner, as soon as you put it into this machine, it will tell you whether it's an original toner or not. If you are willingly wanting or using a duplicate toner, you can use it. The printer won't stop it. But it will tell you that it is not an original toner. So that people who are genuinely buying an original toner will find out whether they have been cheated. Because sometimes the value of original toner, for example, can be 8,000 rupees, the lowest price probably, and the duplicate toner can be 2,000 rupees. So you will be ripped off for 6,000 rupees. But you don't know because today those boxes and all are made in such creative ways that you don't know whether it's original or not. Sometimes even us, we have certain stickers and certain ways of checking, but even for us, it's a tedious job now because they're getting very close. But because of that, we have got the printer to do that job for us. And as soon as you put it in, it will tell whether it's an original, genuine toner. If not, it will say it's not an original. But for people who want to use, can use. But today with the technology of increasing the capacity of the toner, increasing performance of the toner, there is no necessity to go in for a duplicate toner. Another thing, like I said before, is that sometimes there are some tapes you need to pull out because toner particles are not good for your health, and sometimes you don't know, which place it is and so on. But the new technology is such that you don't need to remove all these tapes and all. It automatically, once you connect it, will do it by itself. So there won't be any removing steps anymore. Just remove it from the box, plug it in, automatically those will come out. So, in a sense, what it's trying to do is to give you more performance, more pages, protect you from knowing whether you're buying an original or not, and it will give you more precision in terms of printing color and black, and more certainly when predicting cartridge life, you know exactly how much it is because you can see the amount you have consumed and available, and in terms of installing and having to worry about all the unnecessary seals removal is not there anymore. So these are the printers which has come in with it. Just to share with you how you can identify whether it is there or not. The screen is a little small, but this slide also came about a month ago, but we already have this looking here, 252, so you can check it on. This is how it will look in the box itself when that technology is enabled in those printers. And the toner box will also carry this sticker, Jet Intelligence, so that you know it is of this toner technology. So with that, I think I can leave space to check this on. I'll just summarize what or takeaways which we could consider and leave with the video view. So in a sense, what we are trying to do is to give you a leaner, smarter, faster way to print. So these are the models which have already been launched worldwide, which you all have already installed today. The 252, the 277, and the 552, which is a high-end, large enterprise color printer. And the takeaways are this 40% smaller, 40% faster, up to 33% more print per cartridge, and 53% less energy. Actually, if you really do a working and see, this is huge. let's say a bank, for example, has a satellite office in a remote area. You can't have a lot of space. So this is ideal because it reduces size as well. And when you know it's faster, like 40% faster, that is a lot. And also when you know it's printing more, from your budget you can take 1/3 of it and say, okay, I'm saving 1/3 already. And in terms of energy also, it's almost 50% more than 50%. So that's all I have. I will just play you one video so that
has been there for 3 years. So people are complaining that there is stickers available locally as well.
Yeah, that's
So it's like this mobile phone with warranty or without warranty, they were trying to. We were.
and one more thing, like 1 to 6 8 owners,
Yes.
like the color combinations.
Yes.
Now you are coming with the 3 colors.
Yes.
So
I
why
imagine.
you are like thinking to combine all 3 and come to as a one toner, because like as like Sri Lanka third party countries to like cost-wise to get some 3 toners separately. I think it's basically
Yeah.
altogether it's
very good question.
same as a printer.
Yes, good question. You have two sides to this. Right? I'll tell you, the question is that why don't we have one toner which has all this together, right? We had a printer called the 1525, and then the newer one came as the 251, the one before this. When that happened, the printed toner yield of the 251, for example, was 8,000, and the 1525 was 6,500. When that happened, the 6,500 toner was, let's say, 15,000 rupees, and this was 17,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees more. But people didn't want to buy the printer because the toner price was high. Also, what it said was, because of that, say you use yellow more, you are able to use the yellow, replace the yellow. Sometimes if you have the common one, and 2 are still 60%, you have to throw it away. So those were the 2 reasons, because we had tried this in the ink. We had one common, in certain printers we still have, where you have one tank, where you have all 4. But then even in the high-end ones, we thought, hey no, if you have all that together, and you're using only black, or if you're using whatever, then why should you replace all? Because the startup cost is high when you have all 4 together. That was the reason. Yes.
Have you got any agent in Sri Lanka printers to outsource
Yes.
services and providing?
Multiple printers and other printers also. Other printers also.
Network printers will not,
Only network.
because you can't see.
What about the wireless print?
If you can, if it's on the network, yes.
Yes.
It is free of charge.
Okay.
Let's take that link, it is the write it down.
Right.
You can download it, you can have videos.
Sorry. What do you mean?